Welcome to In Pursuit of Truth. This is your host, Sir Patrick Mack. We've got a few new Q posts. Do you like Q posts? Me too. Here we go. 35 minutes past the hour of 3. We've got from Donald Trump's Twitter, just had an agricultural roundtable with me, members of Congress and governors. I will be making remarks on the large-scale tax cuts given to American families and workers at 1:45 p.m. from the Rose Garden. Join me live. Q says, coincidence? Has the error been corrected? Why not? Q. Adding on to that, at 36 minutes past the hour of 3, misspellings matter. Q. 51 minutes past the hour of 3, RR, Rod Rosenstein problems, and a link. Q. At 4 o'clock, responding to an Anon, who posts this, understand one simple fact. The U.S. is connected to the rest of the world. Knowing that, understand by default, if certain intel is released, it would cause a world war, mass suffering. We share the idea of open source, but value life and must make decisions-based decisions on outcome and containability. Q. And then at 14 minutes past the hour of 4, Twitter, down, injection, good, Q. All right, those are your Q posts. If you want to move on from there, let's start with this first one. First of all, thanks to all of you who gave me your comments about the last video. Thanks so much for the input, and we're going to cover a little bit of that. And thanks to all of you who taught me what Kek means. I even played World of Warcraft, and then I don't remember Kek. So, yeah. All right. So we're on this Twitter page, right? And actually, let me just take you to this one, because Q says coincidence, and it's all right here on this one. Okay. Q says coincidence. Has the error been corrected? Why not? No, it's still there. If you go to the Twitter page, it's still there. Me members. Maybe he's getting ready for St. Patrick's Day. I just had an agricultural roundtable with me members of Congress. Maybe that's what he's doing, right? Maybe not. Misspellings matter. Okay, what's highlighted there clearly is meme, right? Memes. So maybe where memes are great on Twitter, right? And Trump loves Twitter, so maybe he wants us to do some memes. Let's talk about that in a little bit later. Let me take you over here. 51 minutes past the hour of 3, Rod Rosenstein's problems. Okay, well, gosh, if you've been following any of my videos or any Q videos, you know Rod Rosenstein's having problems, always having problems. Rod Rosenstein, 99 problems, but politics ain't one. This is off of CNN Politics. White House is prepping an effort to undermine Rosenstein. This is as of today, April 13th. We're not going to go through this whole article. I just want to give you sort of the theme. We'll read the first part of it here. The White House, sorry about the video there. The White House is preparing talking points designed to undermine Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein's credibility, according to sources familiar with the plan. The plan calls on, wait, hang on a second. You did what? General Rod Rosenstein's credibility, according to sources familiar with the plan. Now, what's this plan? The plan calls on President Donald Trump's allies to cast Rosenstein as too conflicted to fairly oversee the Russia investigation. The talking points are still in their preliminary form and not yet finalized. People familiar with their preparation said. A White House spokesperson said the swipes at Rosenstein were not part of a coordinated communications effort, unlike the coordinated strategy with the Republican National Committee to take on former FBI Director James Comey. Right. Remember that strategy that we were all working to take him down, right? Remember? Hi. The Justice Department declined to comment. Already, a number of Trump's associates have called for Rosenstein's firing in appearances on television and in public remarks over the past few days, but not all of them did so at the request of the White House. As special counsel, Robert Mueller's investigation into Trump encroaches further into the president's inner circle. His allies outside the White House are ramping up their effort both to defend him and to encourage a tougher stance against a probe they claim has dramatically overstepped its bounds. FBI agents relied on search warrants that have been executed by the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Southern District of New York in conducting the raid. They obtained the warrants after receiving a referral from Mueller's office. Firing Rosenstein or Mueller himself could inject new turbulence into Trump's presidency. Legal experts, Democrats, and some Republicans have said it could prompt a constitutional crisis. It would almost certainly derail policy efforts as Trump works to enact his agenda ahead of congressional elections in November. Okay, so this is a long article, but let me just kind of try and sum this up here. CNN here, this article in particular is again getting out in front of this narrative saying this is going to be the big conspiracy and this is how it's all going to go down. And what they do is actually really, really clever. They go on here to talk in detail about what's about to happen and kind of what has happened. And basically it's kind of like making everything look like it's, I don't want to say debunked, but sort of, if you get out in front of it and kind of tisk at it, it's real easy to just brush everything off. But this is what's happening. We already know this. Rosenstein's in a lot of trouble. He was almost impeached yesterday, okay? And so, yeah, clearly he's at 14 minutes and 59 seconds, if you know what I'm saying, okay? And who knows what will happen. I have a feeling Trump's going to hang on to Mueller. After all, this is the Mueller investigation. But either way, this whole Russia probe relies on two things right now. It's only got two things holding it up: Rosenstein and Mueller. Okay, and if one of them go down, yes, it's going to create. They said it themselves here. They're not wrong. Firing Rosenstein or Mueller himself could inject new turbulence into Trump's presidency. Okay, well, we talked about that yesterday, and if you remember, this is going to get weird here. Remember, we talked about Alan Dershowitz. Now, we didn't talk about Alan Dershowitz the way I know you'd like me to talk about Alan Dershowitz. But remember, he met with Alan Dershowitz. What is Alan Dershowitz? He's a constitutional lawyer. Okay? Keep that in mind. He's a constitutional lawyer. Well, what are we doing here? We got to really, if they do this wrong, what is it? It's a constitutional crisis, right? So, walking around trying to find different methods to execute your plan, your quote-unquote plan, is going to require a lot of strategy. And it's going to require a lot of strategy from people who know the Constitution. And whether you like him or not, Alan Dershowitz just met with Trump, knows a lot about the Constitution. He advises lots of people on the Constitution. Now, it wasn't a formal advisement, but let's face it, okay? Now, we all know about Alan Dershowitz's nefarious activities, and we'll go into that in a minute, because to be fair, you guys are right, I skipped over it a little bit. I did it for kind of a reason, but you're right, I skipped over it. Shouldn't have done it. I apologize. All right, let's move on though, okay? So those are Rod Rosenstein's big problems, right? All right. So 58 minutes past the hour of 3, we have this, and this is from where is the date there? Yeah, February 12th, 18th. This is a post from Q. Understand one simple fact. The U.S. is connected to the rest of the world. Knowing that, understand by default, if certain intel is released, it would cause a world war, mass suffering. We share the idea of open source, but value life and must make based decisions on outcomes and containability. Q. And then Q says, the poster says, to my fellow incarnated extraterrestrials, how could I have forgotten this crumb? And Q, of course, puts basically acknowledges this. Okay, well, look, there may be something that I'm missing to it, but I alluded to it back here a little bit. Now, there may be something more specific. Where am I trying to find it here? Excuse me while we go down. Oh, I'm sorry, I've missed it. Okay. Well, look, the point is here it is there. Our comms must be this way. Refer back to the Y, national SEC laws. Laws, guys, laws. There's all these laws. Remember that the U.S. isn't the only country involved. I'm not in the U.S., okay? I'm not looking from this as just an American point of view either. Look, this is crucial stuff, okay? Firing Mueller from the Russia probe is... It's all it's going to do is create a war, okay? Now, yes, outwardly it's really easy to say, okay, well, we want to put a war in the deep state, but we don't want to do it this way. We don't want the Constitution in the middle of this, if that makes any sense, okay? Let me go on to this next post, and maybe some of my other things will tie this up. Okay. 14 minutes after the hour of 4, we have Twitter down, injection good. Okay, well, just the other day, right here, Q was talking about Facebook. They just went down hard. Instagram, we had the incident with Ray Chandler, and now Twitter's next. Okay, Twitter's next. What were we talking about with Twitter? What's so famous about Twitter? Donald Trump loves Twitter, right? He loves memes. And it sounds like he wants memes. Okay, well, Jack Dorsey probably doesn't want the memes, but I'll bet Donald Trump wants memes, and I'll bet what they're saying is that Twitter's down. This might be a good time for an injection. All right. Incidentally, I got me a Twitter, folks. I got me a Twitter. Is this a good time to say keck? Can I say keck? No? Okay. All right. I got a Twitter. I haven't even tweeted yet. Tweeted? I haven't tweeted yet. My first tweet. Haven't done it. All right. Do me a favor, folks. Follow me on here. This is iPod. It looks like I'm... let me blow it up for you here. At iPod T7. I didn't get a cool hand. Can I change this? I don't know how to do it. iPod 73442. You can see it, okay? Let me just say it again. iPod 734-46216. I didn't give that number. I want a different number. Can I do a cooler number? I don't know. Anyway, follow me here, dude. And flood me with memes. Spam me. Well, don't spam me, but spam me with, like, you know, good stuff, okay? If you've got big stuff, the stuff that you usually want to put down in the comments below, send it here. Pictures, stuff like that. It sounds like Q wants memes, and it sounds like Trump wants memes, okay? Incidentally, I think I'm only following one person. Do you know who it is? Do you know who it is? Of course, it's Donald Trump. All right. So those are your Q posts. Now, let me take you back to this guy, because you guys got on me about it a little bit, and fairly so. Alan Dershowitz. Well, remember back here, we were talking about this 17. Alan, welcome aboard, plane 17. Well, I just went into this article about how he met. Well, he did. He met him that day. It was relevant, and it was relevant to what we were talking about. But the 17, we didn't cover the 17. I mean, the football team, they gave Trump the 17. But why the 17? What's the 17? What happened on 17? You guys know what happened on the 17th. November 17th, Alan Dershowitz flying to that island. Oh, my goodness. What's going on the island? Well, most of you probably already know this. This is the Lolita Express flight logs. Alan Dershowitz was, of course, known to be on it. And it's not a flight 17 from what I understand. It looks like this is just a date. I think it was November 17th, okay? So it looks like there's been some flights. This just shows one number of landings here, but I don't think this was it. And of course, Dershowitz is tied to a lot of this stuff, okay? So why are we talking about this again? Let's look at it again. This is from the Mail Online. All aboard the Lolita Express. Flight logs reveal the many trips Bill Clinton and Alan Dershowitz took on pedophile Jeffrey Epstein's private jet with anonymous women. Flight logs for Jeffrey Epstein's private plane, dubbed the Lolita Express, were published for the first time on Thursday. They show that former President Bill Clinton boarded the plane with women believed to have been involved in creating an underage sex slave ring. Alleged victim, Virginia Roberts, remember she was the one that was tied up with Prince Andrew, said she was recruited as a slave when she was 15 and that she was forced to have sex with both Prince Andrew and Harvard law profession Alan Dershowitz. Okay, well, let's not go way into it, but there's Alan right there. Okay, so Alan, he's been linked to all these guys. Well, of course, he advises all these presidents on the Constitution, right? I don't know what he advises Prince Andrew on, but they're on these flights and they're meeting all these kids. What's going on? And now all of a sudden, Trump's meeting Alan Dershowitz, talking about the Middle East. Well, ladies and gentlemen, whether you like him or not, the guy knows the Constitution. That's what people talk to him for, okay? Could it be, I'm just saying, could it be that our president is the ultimate troll, receiving advice from a constitutional lawyer? What do you, ladies and gentlemen, if you're a president of the United States, one of the most powerful, arguably the most powerful position in the world. Of course, we know there's shadowy positions that are more powerful, but outwardly, what would you do? What would you do with constitutional law? You make executive orders, folks. You make executive orders. What executive orders has Trump been making? Okay? I think that's what's going on. I think Trump is trolling. Master level. Keck. Did I do it right? Keck. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, those are your Q posts. Get over on my Twitter, iPod. Okay, it's just called iPod. Flood me with memes, funny stuff, cool stuff. Hey, how about this? Best buddy meme gets my first tweet. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, that's all I have for you. If you like this video, please click like, share, and subscribe. And if there's anything coming up with Q, I will, of course, let you know. Until then, this is Sir Patrick Mack, and stay on my Twitter.